Jacko, welcome home. First of all, World Cup qualifier, not only in Melbourne, but in this stadium, which when it's packed, can hopefully be a hostile atmosphere. Is that what you guys are looking for tomorrow night in such a pivotal game?
Yeah, absolutely. Every game at home is an opportunity to put on a show in front of friends, family, and obviously home fans. And of course, the atmosphere that the fans generate always gives us an extra push. So, hoping it will be an electric one tomorrow night.
Introduce yourself personally. How much confidence do you bring into camp on the back of a really good run in the Bundesliga?
Yeah, it's been a hectic month. Some big games, but brilliant. It gives you so much energy coming back into camp here and wanting to bring that, playing at that level and trying up my game, in a national team shirt as well.
Adrian?
Jackson, a lot of talk about the two big games in a short period of time, being on the same points as these opponents. That's the talk from the outside, but inside the camp at the moment, can you tell us how big the build-up is for this team over this game tomorrow, but then in a week's time as well?
Listen, they're all good games, and the attitude of the players and the staff, everyone is one that we approach every game with the seriousness of what they are, which is playing for your national team, playing in the World Cup qualifier, and the importance of that. So the approach doesn't really change for us. We recognise and obviously respect our opponents, but focus on our own game and deal with the circumstances that come with that.
And just one on the style of play, Saudi Arabia, how do you expect them to take the game on tomorrow night?
Yes, I'm sure they'll have a bit of a bounce, as teams do, and we know their qualities. We've come up against them a number of times over the last few years, and we're aware of those threats, but as I say, within the framework of our own game, we'll be looking at the ways that we can use it to our advantage and get a positive result.
Jacko, obviously welcome back home. Just one, as Adrian alluded to, how big an opportunity is this for this group to, I guess, make this World Cup qualifying group your own? It's two pivotal games, points are level. It feels like a huge opportunity. Yeah,
of course, it is an opportunity. But as I said before, I think every window presents another chance for us to progress and take steps forward. I think we showed in the last two games how far we can come in such a short period of time, and the challenge for us this time around is to do the same again, to take more strides forward, and of course the ultimate reward for that would be two positive results. So we're fully focused on just keep continuing to develop and progress our game, and trust that when we do that, it will lead to the results that we can get.
And we know that teams often like to come to Australia, sit deep, make it difficult, frustrate. How well prepared, I guess, do you feel you guys are to handle that, having experienced it and maybe got through it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we know that will come in phases of the game. We also know that the game can open up and be wild, and sometimes in these games as well. So it's about the way we manage that within the game itself. But I think we're within, as I say, the structure that we're building here. We've got the capability of playing against equal blocks again in more open games. We showed that kind of between the two games in the last camp as well, and two very different styles of game, the way we can defend it and play with the ball. When we can bring that together in a game like tomorrow night, then it gives us a great chance to win the game.
Jackson, how much has having a new coach had an impact on the group, and do you feel like as a team you've really changed much in the way you play?
Yeah, definitely. There's a new intensity and a new freshness in everything that we do, and that's credit to the players for embracing everything the change that's come. But of course the staff have put their DNA into the squad in a very short space of time, which is not an easy thing to do. And I think when everybody's on the same page and working to bring that whole picture together, you can see how quickly that turns into positive results, as we saw in the last camp. So again, that's the challenge for everybody, to continue to push that forward and do the same again this time around.
Jackson, people often talk about progressive attacking football, but you alluded to that last performance in Japan where your defence was very strong. How important is that for you as a team, that you don't just get sidetracked all the time by wanting to go forward and keep things tight at the back? This is an opponent who's shown it's got the ability to play counter-attacking football, and on the break, doesn't it?
For sure, and I think that's got to be the foundation of anything that we do. But that defensive framework can also come within that attacking structure as well. We have to be so, as you said, when a team that's dangerous in transition, you've got to be able to be switched on even when you're attacking and have that defensive mindset kind of throughout the game in all phases. And when you bring that focus and desire to defend in all stages, in all phases of the game, whether it's in a deeper block or being aware of transition when we've got the ball higher up the pitch, then it's very, 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 very difficult team to break down and to we don't concede many chances. And against another good opponent, you'll have to be very good in both phases of the game tomorrow night.
My call there for Jackson, guys, if everyone's happy. Thank you, Jack.
Thank you.
Give the mic. Vince, take us away.
Okay, Tony. First of all, you being here as well, I guess this is a stadium you know very well. Probably have some great memories. How does it feel, I guess, to be here? And from what you know about Melbourne football crowds, how helpful will that be, hopefully, tomorrow night as well?
Yeah, thank you. Obviously it's a pleasure to be back here again. Some wonderful memories here in this stadium. I look forward to another one tomorrow. A packed house supporting the Socceroos. I experienced it now in Adelaide. I know it's special, and I'm sure they'll bring a wonderful atmosphere for us tomorrow and get right behind the team. And we're aiming to put on a performance that can excite them, one to make them proud, and get a vital 3 points.
Just in regards to the midfielders in the squad, there's a couple of different profiles, in particular, the two uncapped players you brought in, Ballard and Caceres. What goes into your thinking process, I guess, when you decide, presumably Jackson will be one who might be next to him?
It's a reward for how they've played their club football. Obviously, we monitor a lot of players, and young Ballard's gone to Holland, and we feel he just keeps improving and has become more consistent with his game over there, and gaining confidence from playing regularly and against big opponents. When you play in Ajax and PSV, you can gain a lot of confidence when you're thrust into that environment. And Caceres gets a reward for being a very consistent player, a very good player for Sydney for a long time, but in particular this year I feel he's really stepped up, and his versatility is showing in quality, not just in positioning. So they deserve to be here, and it's a step up for them, as a national team should be, and I'm happy they're here.
Tony, welcome to Melbourne. Good to see you again. I just wanted to ask about the preparation for this set of games. I think you had 17 days of preparation for the last build-up. Does it make much of a difference for you to have a bit more time to work on tactics and the squad and the shape and the way you want to play?
Yeah, it's a little bit more time, it is. I still feel we're at the early stages of building a foundation of how we want to play. We started that in October. We really need to cement that foundation in this camp and hopefully add a few more layers to our game with and without the ball. Yes, it becomes a little more familiar for us in terms of knowing the players and what they did last camp and what they can do this camp. And you add some new players that bring obviously a different element as well. Where we still have the expectation of performing in both games starting tomorrow, and our expectation is to win, regardless of whether it's early in our tenure together as a group or not. But that's where we are at the moment. But we don't shy away from the expectation of a very good performance tomorrow night, and that's what we're looking forward to.
There's a couple of questions to Jackson about the fact that you're so close on the table with your opponents coming up. Do you encourage the players to try to block that stuff out, or do you embrace the fact that it's a red hot competition for the spot in top two?
I think we embraced, if you remember in October, we embraced the challenge we had against China. We knew our situation, but we embraced that challenge. We embraced the challenge of travelling to Japan, and we'll do the same now. Obviously, we're a month later, 2 different games. They're important for different reasons, but we'll embrace this opportunity. That's how we see it. China and Japan were an opportunity to showcase our playing style, do it in a way that can win games, get some positive results. We did, and this is another opportunity now to cement our foundation of course, it's a big game, and against Saudi Arabia, we're on the same points, and they're here with the same goal in mind. So we understand that, we embrace that challenge, but it's an opportunity to progress our game and and show that tomorrow on the pitch.
Hi Tony, welcome back to Melbourne.
Thank you.
Just on Saudi Arabia, Eva Renard's come back in as coach. What do you know of him? What do you make of him? What do you expect from Saudi Arabia tomorrow, given it's such a change?
Yeah, it's a change. He obviously has a lot of experience with the team. He had them, I believe, for 4 years. Did a very good job with them. Fantastic at the World Cup, as we know. He had the Olympic team, the women's. So, we've monitored what he did in both jobs that he had, and we expect them to bring that energy and enthusiasm, which comes about from playing for your country. So we expect that tomorrow night. They're very energetic, determined, maybe desperate to get a result. We know what's coming, and we have to match that enthusiasm, that energy, but have the patience and calmness to play our football at the right moments and identify what the game is presenting. If they play a higher line, as they did at the World Cup, to identify those moments. If they sit deeper, to identify the patience we need. And obviously, and be aware of, talented individuals that like to do things on their own because they can, and just be aware of that, but know that we feel it's in our hands here at our home stadium, our crowd. The players look calm and confident, and I want to see that in their performance tomorrow.
Tony, can you please shed a bit of light into your conversations with the skipper Matt Ryan, and whether we can expect to see him back in tomorrow for such an important game?
Yeah, you may see him tomorrow. He is the captain of the Socceroos, so my conversations with him are full of respect as a leader, someone that has 95 games under his belt for his country, so a wonderful servant, and I'm sure he'll be available for tomorrow, and I'm sure he'll get more numbers under his belt in terms of the Socceroos performances.
Just in terms of availability, Tony, we know some players arrived quite late, some even as late sort of as last night. Anyone unavailable for this one, and how do you sort of pick everyone up after such a difficult turnaround from their club before?
Yeah, I believe that's something that, not that the players are accustomed to. It's never easy playing on the weekend, and then you've got jet lag to deal with, but I'd like to think that playing for your country is a little bit above everything else that you do, and you will put jet lag aside, and the excitement of playing for your country, hearing that national anthem, representing your family, your friends with honour, and wanting to put on a great performance, I think will always outweigh the difficulty of travelling and having only 2 days to prepare. Yes, some players arrived late, but if you saw them this morning, they're all smiling, they're all happy, loving to be amongst their peers, and loving the opportunity that is presented in front of them for tomorrow.
Tony, you used the word patience there twice in about 30 seconds in answer to an earlier question. Is that the key message? There's going to be a full stadium, crowd expecting you to get on the front foot right from the start. If you don't make the early breakthrough, is that the thing you'll be really instilling in your players, that it's about being patient in these circumstances?
I think it depends on the moment of the game. We feel we'll be prepared for whichever moments are presented to us, and patience is something you need at times in the game. Of course, we understand that, but there are also moments that you can play quick, play through the lines, and there may be transition moments, there may be areas that between the lines we can exploit that gives us the opportunity to get a chance on goal in three or four passes. So, we're just prepared and looking forward to the challenge. We're not preempting what will happen and how our opponent will play. We just want to be assured in our preparation that whatever is presented in front of us, that we can deal with.
Thanks, guys. Michael.
Thank you very much.